Blarla. Hello peeps and welcome back to Project Hospital. Welcome back to Infectious Diseases, where we are working on the new insurance policy for infectious diseases. And in the last episode we managed to complete one of the epidemic events, but we need to do another one. Now I've allowed a day to elapse so that the wards have emptied out a little bit, although we are still pretty rammed on the ICU. I also sped through the day pretty quickly, so there could be a lot of patients not very well dealt with. That's a thing. And we had another epidemic outbreak, which was interesting because it was a person that was here. And this department is set as a biohazard. I know what's wrong here. Let me go to as a biohazard area. So everybody would have been wearing their masks and gloves, and yet I still had an outbreak. So I'm not actually sure now what the point is of making trauma biohazard. And that means by extension potentially ICU as well, because you don't have isolation units there. So that's, yeah, that was a little bit unusual. I'm not quite sure how I feel about that. But there we are. Somebody collapsing over here. They're also vomiting. That's disgusting. So today we want to continue with the insurance policy that we have going on here. First thing in the morning when we're having a rush is not the best time to do it. So we're probably going to lose some patients. I'm on specialist mode. I can see that he is got his arms crossed and everything, which means he probably has a flashing symptom. Same with this guy. Always worth doing, what I would normally do is send them off to trauma so that I can diagnose these patients particularly quickly, but not today, because we are going to trigger an event. Now, it says that we need to do 3 epidemics. So it's this one here. So we're going to click that. So an outbreak of a highly dangerous disease has been reported in a favourite tourist destination. All returning citizens who are not feeling well should report to the nearest hospital. So we're going to take over all the patients. It's not too bad, is it, in terms of the list? We don't have too many patients here, so going to wait for them to start arriving. Exciting. While I'm waiting for them to show up, I'm just going through patients I see coming in that are looking particularly poorly, and sticking them on a code blue, and they are jumping to the top of the queues and disappearing off to be seen. So that's great. Look, we've got another one here. Just going to keep that process going. So I believe we have 8 patients in for this particular epidemic, and I've noticed that one of them here is fairly open and shut situation. Now, even though we know what it is, we've got 5 unknowns. There's quite a lot of discomfort, so I think I am still going to do like neck palpitations, and we're going to do an oral cavity. So we're still going to do a bunch. Look, and she's got ear pain, so we should probably do an ear examination as well. Still going to do all those things, even though we know that she just needs to get some rest, but I am going to do that. So I can work through and start doing some like that. We've also had Thomas Scott here, who is part of the event, who's collapsed. So we're going to get some rehydration and something for the vomiting there. He will go to trauma. Indeed they will. So Daniel is in. Okay, they can go straight to the Department of Infectious Diseases. They don't need to sit in here. They do not need to sit here. In fact, probably none of them do, to be honest. But we don't want to overload that department, because I think I've only got 1 office there. What we can do, though, is stick everybody that's part of the event on a code blue. Can definitely do that. This lady's looking ropey. She is on a code blue. We need to send her here. She has a chemical burn. So Yeah, there you go. She can be dealt with. She doesn't need to be here. This guy's looking ropey. Look at that. Let's put him on a code blue as well. And send him to the infectious diseases. It's that temperature. So, oops. So we are just, I'm just keeping an eye on those kicking around here that don't look well at all. You know, it's important, right? It's important. Ooh, look. This guy is part of our emergency. It's interesting that the things that are wrong with him, nothing is infectious diseases here, so that's interesting. So let's do a physical. Let's get the physical done. That's important. Oh, Casey here has been taken to trauma. So let's get a physical on there. Does he have some sort of abdominal pain? I'm just going to do that because we're getting a lot of stuff that's abdominal based, so maybe he is. Paul has popped up here. Paul is... There he is. So let's get a physical on Paul. Always a good place to start, the physical, for sure. And we'll see where that goes. Yes, please do. Sit over here. Oh, look. It's not enough, though. Look, we got... Oh. Now, she's actually... I'm in specialist mode, so we can't see that she has a flashing symptom, but her arms are crossed, so I know that she is on the verge of crashing. And she is actually in the Department of Infectious Diseases room. We're going to do a physical. We're also going to take her temperature, although... This is okay, but a very high temperature could cause potential crashing. You know, Ebola could as well, of course. In fact, much of what she has here could cause her to crash. What is this? Thomas Scott. Tom Scott. It's named after that YouTuber I like. Let's see. So... we need... He's the guy that's in trauma because he had dehydration issues. So let's get a physical. And we might also do some abdominal palpitations as well. And there could be something going on with the ear. So we might do an ear examination. See how that goes. Okay. See how you get along. Michael Green, also part of the event. Oh, look. Oh, yeah. Okay. So it's had a physical. We've not learnt loads, have we? We've not learnt loads. But we could have, look, nasal thing. Yeah. Let's do an oral and nasal search. I think we'll do that. We will also take the temperature. He's got a fever. Let's do that. So we can get an exact idea of his temperature. Paul. Okay, we're back to Paul, who's experiencing stomach pain. So we might do abdominal palpitations. We are also going to take his temperature as well. I think that would be good. Over to Casey. It's all go. What can we do here for Casey? So, he does have cramps, but the abdominal palpitations actually told us nothing, interestingly. Now, we've got a few bits here that could upset the heart. So I am just going to take some blood pressure. I'm going to take blood pressure. We are also going to do monitor the heart. I think we should also take his temperature as well. I feel like that would be something worth doing. And I guess we'll see how that goes for him. Yeah. They're doing the blood pressure thing first. I like to try and do cover as much as possible with the things they can do right here before we start sending anything off to labs and that. Labs and x-rays and all that sort of stuff are sort of when I'm really running out of ideas. You know, okay. So blood pressure was clear. We're going to monitor his heart. Now we're going to leave him for Jennifer Moore. Ooh. Right, okay. So it's all getting a bit unpleasant for Jennifer. We've got orifice bleeding. No. Right, okay. So she's going to need IVs. We need to hospitalise her right away. Both of these can be highly contagious, I think. So it doesn't actually say very easily. That one says highly contagious. This one doesn't. So I'm going to put her into isolation. We are going to arrange the IVs that she needs to deal with these two items, these two issues, and then we'll take another look at her. So Paul here, yeah, definitely has a fever. Well done. But not a high fever. So that's something. So what else could we do to try and whittle this down? So we could do a CRP. So we're going to do that. That could help us narrow it down without doing any tests. And then after that, we might do a differential, because that will probably do the trick, to be fair. Tom Scott over here then. Look, we've diagnosed. We have diagnosed. Let's check for hypertension, and let's also do some heart monitoring just to see if there's an irregular heartbeat or anything like that going on. This is the sort of thing we would need to know quickly in case there's pulsating symptoms here. Okay, so we've got a diagnosis over here, which is antivirals, but we don't know. Mind you, antivirals would get that too. That's good. So let's still do a physical, and we're also still going to take a temperature just in case we need to bring that temperature down. I think that would be a good idea. And while we're here, this is something that a test that we can actually run right here. Where's the CRP? I'd like to run a CRP. Because we can do that right here. There it is. The rest of it, we'll just let them get on with it. We will give them this for that stomach pain. We will also tell them to get some rest. I think that's probably a good job well done. Hey, this is going quite well. We do have, who's red here? She's not actually part of the event. This gentleman is though. So let's see. A lot of tests have come back negative for this guy. I think we can probably assume that it is infectious diseases, although it's not guaranteed, is it? It's not guaranteed. What would be the best way to deal with him? Well, do you know what? We are going to... Oh no, we did the heart. Right, so there's nothing wrong with the heart. Interesting. We are going to send him, I think, to the Department of Infectious Diseases. We're going to do an interview with him. I think that would be a good idea. What else? I'm just looking through these bits and bobs that I can see here. I think we are going to have to get a little bit deeper into tests. We are probably going to do a microbial cultivation because I'm seeing things like this kicking around. We're going to concentrate, because we're sending him to the Department of Infectious Diseases, we are going to concentrate on the illnesses that are in there and just ignore the ones around it for now. It might blow up in our face, but I guess we'll see. Look, microbial could also get a diagnosis for this, so that's quite good. Now, what else have we got going on down here? We could do a stool analysis, potentially. Have we done abdominal? We all came back negative. I think we'll leave it at that for now. Also, let's see if we can help him with the pain. Okay. What is this? Paul then. Hello, Paul. We're ready for a differential over here. That's where we are. Differential for Paul, for sure. Let's see. Can he work this out? He has. There it is. We have our answer. So we're going to give him the antivirals. We're also going to bring his temperature down, give him something for all the pain that he's in. And then I would say this chappie is probably going to be fine. His comfort should be good as well. Daniel, what is going on, Daniel? Right, he is now in the Department of Infectious Diseases GP office. Let's do a physical. Let's take his temperature. We're going to do some neck palpitations, as I see this icon here. And we're also going to do some abdominal, because I see this sort of stuff going on here. And we'll see what that gets us. We don't want to get too much going too quickly. Nope. So what have we got going on over here? Are you all sorted? Not quite. So he now needs to go. Tom Scott needs to go to infectious diseases. This isn't contagious, so he can just go to the normal department. He should be absolutely fine. He's all good, actually. I'm not going to worry about him anymore. Doing well. We've got through 37% of them. If we just have a clear out here, we've still got these 2 outstanding and these 3. So we've got 5 left to get sorted. Desperately trying to get rid of that. Oh look, Michael Green. There we go. So we need some saline. There we go. And we'll give him the antiseptic. We'll bring that fever down. We'll tell him to get some rest. That should be more than enough. Given that his only discomfort is fever, we're going to smash that with his comfort's going to be proper high. This guy's not part of the emergency, but look what's happened here. This is terrible. So we're going to keep an eye on that dude. That's for sure. Ooh, Jennifer's ready to go home. Oh, not quite, because we do have some discomfort here. Let's remove the pain that she's in. We need to remove the pain. There we go. So that she doesn't have discomfort issues. That's what we want. She's not part. Linda here is not part of the. Oh my goodness! How many times do you want me to click on it? It's not part of the event. Okay, so he is good to go. That's Paul. Paul, all done. Off you go then, Paul. Wow, paid us loads. Did you see that? Paid us absolutely loads. What have we got going on here? Charles, not part of the event. We're just keeping an eye on him because needs must by the looks of it. Oh, we got Daniel. Back with Daniel. We're struggling here, aren't we? Finding what's going on with Daniel. Let's see. So PCR and serologic. PCR and serologic. Okay. Well, that's what we're going to do then. This doctor does not cause discomfort. That is lucky. That is lucky. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to arrange the PCR. There it is. And the serologic, which is around someplace here. Also, there we go. Let's get those done. And I wonder if is any of this a high chance? Yeah. I wonder if he's walking around all unhappy like. Don't know. Ultimately, this guy's good to go home. I want to know if Daniel here is experiencing any serious upset. He will have his arms crossed if he is, but maybe not when he's on here. That's the only thing. Yeah, we're waiting on results for that lady. So stop pinging me. We're definitely here with Daniel for the minute. So that was his PCR sampling that's been taken for the labs. And now we're going to get this sampling, I presume. I just want to see when he gets up and leaves here if he's got his arms crossed. The reason I want to know is because it'll come down to whether I hospitalise him up front or not, basically. Stick a needle in him. There we go. We will give him something to bring the fever down. As well, just to start increasing his comfort levels. In fact, we could give him all these things to increase his comfort level. Because we'd like to get this to 5 stars. Okay, so you're going to come back over here, right? No, yes, no, yeah. No, he's not crossing his arm, so I'm not going to hospitalise him just yet. He can wait for his tests in the same way as most people. I think that'll be fine. Ah, Jennifer Moore. Let's see, Jennifer Moore. Right, so we dealt with these issues. It's a question of now trying to work out which one of these two it actually is. So we've done a physical and an interview. We haven't done any speech listening to see if she's got confusion. We could do abdominal palpitations. It doesn't really help though, because both illnesses have this stuff. So we could also just do a differential. See how that goes. We also have a lot of discomfort. So we are going to bring the temperature down and give her some pain meds, as well as telling her to get some rest, although I'm sure she doesn't need telling. It seems for Casey here, we've actually worked out what is wrong. So we are going to arrange, even though he's having a micro bile sampling taken right now, I'm actually going to arrange his treatment. Because we know what it is. I don't know what it was here that helped us find it, but there we are. We did. Apparently, this sampling that we're taking now is what's going to help us find out. How very bizarre. How did we get here? We'll have you fixed up in no time. Yes, we will. We'll pop him back in bed. There we go. Nice. It's just these 3 left. We have Daniel over here who is waiting on some lab work. They're very busy in here. And we also have Jennifer who is in isolation over here. We are waiting on a differential, essentially. That is all. There we go. That's Casey. All taken care of. Lovely. Don't do an ECG, stop that. Still waiting on these. Oh, she's getting her abdominal palpitations. In he comes. We'll get a bit of view on that. Here we go. Lovely. Oh, what is this? Oh, look at that. We now know what's wrong, and we can get him treated. I think he might need to be hospitalised for that, though. Let's do it, just to be sure. And if he doesn't matter, because now he'll pay us for hospitalisation. Which is something I tend to do when a hospital's quite young. Is that I might hospitalise people that don't really need hospitalising, just so I can get some money out of them. There we go. So that will be Jennifer's as well. We have an answer of that differential. Hopefully he got it right. And that's her taken care of. Excellent. So here comes Daniel. I believe that should be, yeah, it is just Daniel now that we are waiting on. Well, would you look at that? As soon as Daniel got into bed, his treatment went through and we got some reward money, 20,000 doubloons, and look, we've got the 2 events out of 3 done. 1 more to go. Not too shabby. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Thank you to all my Patreons for their continued support.